Imagine this. I can eat a delicious breakfast every single day and keep my blood sugar completely stable for more than 8 hours. No crashes, no crazy hunger, no shakiness. And the best part? I don't need to give up flavor, bread, or even coffee. For years, I had no idea that the way I was starting my mornings was actually the reason I felt tired, foggy, and constantly hungry. It wasn't aging. It wasn't bad luck. It was simply the wrong food on my plate first thing in the morning. Foods that were secretly spiking my glucose and messing with my energy without me realizing it. But once I discovered the right combination, oh man, everything changed. I started waking up full of energy with a clear mind, no cravings at all, and something magical happened. My blood sugar stayed stable for hours and hours. Honestly, I wish someone had told me this 10 or 20 years ago. That's why I'm making this video. I'm going to show you exactly what I eat for breakfast every single day. This is a simple, tasty, affordable meal that keeps my glucose rock steady, and it can do the same for you. Just copy me. Stay with me till the end, because you're going to love this. Before we start, smash that like button. It helps this channel grow and spreads this valuable info to more people like you. Number 1, scrambled eggs, 2 eggs every morning. There's something really powerful about starting your day with the right fuel. And for me, that fuel starts with 2 simple scrambled eggs. I know, it might not sound like magic, but trust me, the change it made in my life was nothing short of incredible. For years, I was one of those people who thought, breakfast? Whatever. Just grab something quick, maybe some cereal, a bagel, or even skip it entirely. I had no clue that every time I made those choices, I was basically setting a blood sugar roller coaster in motion, one that would leave me exhausted, foggy, and desperate for sugar by 10 a.m. But the day I swapped all that junk for 2 scrambled eggs was the day everything shifted. I remember the first morning I tried it. I wasn't expecting much. I cracked 2 eggs into the pan, scrambled them up with a pinch of salt, a little olive oil, and sat down thinking, well, let's see if this makes any difference. What I noticed blew my mind. Normally, around mid-morning, I'd start feeling that shaky, jittery sensation. My hands would tremble a bit, my brain would feel foggy, and I'd start craving something. Anything, usually sweet like a cookie or muffin. But that day, nothing. I felt steady, calm, focused, and for the first time in years, I wasn't counting the minutes until my next snack. Here's what's really crazy. Eggs are like nature's perfect little stabilizers. Full of protein, full of healthy fat, and absolutely 0 sugar. And you know what that does? It tells your body, relax, you got everything you need. No sugar rush required. It's almost like putting premium gas into your car instead of cheap fuel that burns out in minutes. Suddenly, everything runs smoother. Your energy, your mood, even your digestion. And it's not just about avoiding hunger. It's about avoiding those scary blood sugar crashes that leave you dizzy, cranky, or worse, reaching for something sugary that just restarts a whole bad cycle again. Another thing I absolutely love about eggs is how simple they are. You don't need to be a chef. You don't need fancy equipment. Just a pan, 2 eggs, in 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll throw in a sprinkle of herbs, maybe some pepper, but honestly, even plain, they're delicious. And the best part is knowing that with every bite, I'm doing something good for my body. Something that actually supports me. I used to think healthy eating meant boring, bland, or restrictive. But eggs completely changed that mindset for me. They're warm, satisfying, comforting. Like a little hug for your stomach in the morning. And here's the truth no one told me for years. When your breakfast starts with protein and fat, like eggs, it completely changes how your body handles everything else you eat during the day. It's like laying down a strong foundation. Your blood sugar stays steady, your cravings vanish, and you feel balanced. Honestly, I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders years ago and said, stop eating cereal, eat eggs instead. It would have saved me years of struggling with energy crashes, mood swings, and that constant battle with food. So yeah, 2 scrambled eggs. Every single morning. No fancy tricks. No expensive supplements. Just real food, real results. And I promise your body will thank you. Number 2, half an avocado. If I had to pick one food that feels like pure magic for my blood sugar, it's avocado. I'm serious. Half an avocado every single morning, right next to my scrambled eggs. And you know what? I like to call it my green gold, because that creamy little fruit doesn't just taste amazing, it works wonders inside my body. I used to think avocado was just something trendy that people threw on toast for Instagram photos. Oh, how wrong I was. The first time I added avocado to my breakfast, I didn't expect much. But just like with the eggs, my body reacted immediately in the best possible way. What I noticed was incredible. Normally, even after a decent breakfast, I'd feel hungry again in a couple of hours. It was like my stomach had this little clock that said, "Feed me again." But with avocado, that voice completely disappeared. The hunger turned off. The cravings vanished. I felt full, not heavy, not bloated, but truly satisfied. It was this weird but wonderful sense of, oh, so this is what it feels like to actually fuel my body the right way. And the best part? My energy didn't just stay steady for 2 or 3 hours. It lasted the entire morning, sometimes even into the afternoon. You see, avocado is packed with something that my body was clearly starving for all those years: healthy fats and fiber. It's like this perfect combo that tells your digestion, hey, take your time. Instead of burning through my breakfast like it was gasoline on fire, fast and gone, my body started processing things slowly, steadily. I like to imagine it's like putting a log on the fire instead of paper. It burns slow, steady, and keeps the warmth going for hours. That's exactly what avocado does inside me. No more roller coasters of sugar spikes and crashes. Just calm, balanced energy. And let's not forget how ridiculously easy it is to add. I just slice it, scoop out half, drizzle a tiny bit of olive oil or a pinch of salt if I'm feeling fancy, and boom, done. Creamy, satisfying, and it pairs perfectly with eggs. Sometimes I even mash it a bit and spread it on my sourdough bread, which we'll talk about in a minute. The point is, it's simple. No recipes, no stress, no complicated steps. Just real food that actually makes me feel good. And once I saw how my body responded, I knew this wasn't just a one-time thing. This was going to be part of my life forever. So if you've been waking up feeling tired, foggy, or fighting that constant hunger all morning, trust me on this. Try adding half an avocado to your breakfast. You don't have to believe me right away. Just try it. Give your body a chance to show you how much better it feels when it's getting the right kind of fuel. Because I'm telling you, the difference is night and day. It was for me, and I truly believe it will be for you too. Number 3, 1 slice of sourdough bread. Let me be completely honest with you. For years, I thought bread was my enemy. Every time I had toast for breakfast, regular white bread, wheat bread, even some of those healthy whole grain ones, it felt good for about 20 minutes. Then, boom, a crash. That awful shaky feeling, that sudden brain fog, that need to grab something sweet just to survive the next hour. It was a cycle I couldn't break. I genuinely believed that if I wanted stable blood sugar, bread had to be off the table forever. And honestly, that made me kind of sad. I love bread. I always have. But then I discovered sourdough. And let me tell you, it was a total game changer. The first time I swapped my regular bread for sourdough, I was skeptical. I remember thinking, it's still bread. How different could it be? But, oh, it was different. I ate my usual breakfast, eggs, avocado, but this time I added 1 slice of toasted sourdough. Crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. I sat down, enjoyed every bite, and waited. And you know what? The crash never came. I kept waiting for that familiar wave of tiredness, the jittery hands, the craving for sugar, but it never happened. Instead, I felt steady, balanced, completely satisfied. It was like someone had lifted this invisible burden off my shoulders. For the first time in years, I could enjoy bread without paying the price. And as I kept repeating this breakfast day after day, I noticed something even better. The sourdough actually helped my digestion. No more bloating, no more stomach discomfort. It was like my gut was saying, thank you, finally something we can handle. And here's why. Though I'm no doctor, what I've learned is that sourdough is naturally fermented. That fermentation process changes the bread. It lowers the impact it has on blood sugar, and it creates something called prebiotics, basically food for good bacteria in your gut. And man, my body felt the difference. Another thing I absolutely love about sourdough is how satisfying it is. One slice is enough. I don't feel the need to go back for seconds or thirds like I used to with regular bread. It's dense, it's flavorful, and it pairs perfectly with everything else on my plate. Eggs, avocado, even a drizzle of olive oil. It's funny because for so long, I thought eating bread meant I was cheating or doing something wrong. But now, sourdough feels like this little gift I give myself every morning. Something delicious that also supports my health. So if you've been avoiding bread because you've been told it's bad for your blood sugar, I get it. I was there too. But I'm telling you, sourdough is different. It's the one bread that doesn't send my glucose on a roller coaster. It lets me enjoy my breakfast without fear, without guilt, and without feeling like I'm sacrificing my health. Give it a shot. One slice. Toast it. Taste it. And feel the difference, just like I did. Number 4, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. If there's one thing I never thought would become part of my breakfast, it's olive oil. I mean, let's be honest. For most of my life, olive oil was something I used for cooking. You drizzle it on a salad, maybe saute some veggies, but breakfast never crossed my mind. Until the day I learned what a tablespoon of this golden magic could do for my blood sugar. And believe me when I tell you, it's not just some fancy health tip. It's one of the simplest, most powerful habits I've ever added to my morning routine. And once I started, I never looked back. The first time I drizzled olive oil over my scrambled eggs and avocado, I wasn't sure what to expect. Would it taste weird? Would it be too heavy? But what surprised me was how perfectly it blended in. This smooth, rich flavor that made everything taste better. But the real surprise wasn't the flavor. It was how my body felt afterward. Normally, even with eggs and avocado, there was still this little dip in my energy a few hours later, subtle but noticeable. But with the olive oil, that dip vanished. My energy stayed rock solid. My focus stayed sharp. And best of all, my blood sugar barely moved. It was like adding this invisible shield that kept everything steady. What I realized is that olive oil is more than just fat. It's fuel, but it's the right kind of fuel. It's the kind that tells your body, hey, slow down, take it easy. Let's process this food nice and steady. Suddenly, instead of my digestion rushing like a freight train, carbs turning into sugar faster than my body could handle. Everything slowed down. The fat from the olive oil literally helped delay how quickly the bread, the fruit, or anything else in my breakfast turned into glucose. And you know what that means? No sugar spikes. No crashes. Just smooth, steady energy that carried me through the morning. I also started noticing other things. Little things at first. My joints felt less stiff. My digestion felt smoother. And over time, I realized something big. This wasn't just helping my blood sugar. It was helping my whole body. And again, I'm no doctor. I'm just a regular guy sharing what worked for me. But the difference was too real to ignore. It felt like my body was thanking me, finally getting the kind of nourishment it had been begging for all those years. So yeah, every single morning, right after I plate my eggs avocado, I grab that bottle of extra virgin olive oil, the good stuff, and I pour a tablespoon right over the top, sometimes even a little more. It makes everything taste richer, more satisfying. And more importantly, it keeps my blood sugar as steady as a rock. If you've never tried adding olive oil to your breakfast, I'm telling you, don't wait. It's simple, it's delicious, and it's one of the easiest, most powerful upgrades you can make for your health, starting tomorrow morning. Number 5, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. I'll be honest with you. The first time someone told me to add chia seeds to my breakfast, I laughed. Come on, how could these tiny little things possibly make a difference? They're so small, they don't look like much. But oh man, was I wrong. Today, I can't imagine my morning without them. 1 little teaspoon, that's it. But the impact on my blood sugar, my digestion, and my energy has been absolutely massive. Honestly, Chia seeds have become one of my secret weapons for staying full, balanced, and feeling good all morning long. The first time I tried them, I just sprinkled a teaspoon over my eggs and avocado. No fancy recipes, no pudding, nothing complicated. And let me tell you, the effect was almost immediate. You probably wouldn't think something that tiny could keep you full, but that's exactly what it did. Normally, I'd start feeling those little hunger signals creeping in around mid-morning. You know, that subtle emptiness in your stomach, that little voice in your head whispering. A muffin wouldn't hurt, maybe just a snack, but after adding chia, silence. Nothing. My stomach was calm, my brain was focused, and my body felt like it was finally running the way it was supposed to. What's crazy is how these little seeds work inside the body. When they hit liquid, whether it's from the food you eat or your own digested juices, they swell up and form this kind of gel. Sounds weird, I know, but that gel slows everything down. It literally creates a barrier that slows how quickly sugars from other foods get absorbed into your bloodstream. So instead of a quick spike, followed by a crash, you get this beautiful, steady release of energy. And trust me, your body feels a difference almost immediately. I noticed it by the second day of adding them. It was that fast. Another thing I absolutely love is how effortless it is. You don't need to cook them. You don't need to prepare anything fancy. I just take a teaspoon, sprinkle over my sourdough bread, my avocado, or even stir into my coffee sometimes. Yes, really, and boom, done. No mess, no stress. And every time I do it, I smile because I know these tiny seeds are quietly doing their job inside me, helping my gut, helping my blood sugar, and keeping those nasty cravings far, far away. So if you're like I was, skeptical, wondering if something so small can actually help, here's my advice. Just try it. 1 teaspoon. That's all it takes. You'll be shocked at how much longer you stay full, how much more stable your energy feels, and how quiet those sugar cravings become. Honestly, it's one of the simplest things I've ever added to my morning, and it's made one of the biggest differences. Tiny seeds, huge impact. I wouldn't start my day without them now. Number 6, 1 cup of strawberries or blueberries. Let me tell you something. For the longest time, I was terrified of fruit. I know it sounds crazy, but every time I heard someone say, "Watch out for sugar," my mind went straight to fruit. Maybe I should skip it. Maybe it's not safe for my blood sugar. But man, cutting out fruit left this huge hole in my breakfast. I missed that little bit of sweetness, that freshness. And then I learned something that completely changed how I looked at it. Not all fruits are the same. Some are true friends to your blood sugar. And at the very top of that list, strawberries and blueberries. My absolute go-to every single morning. The first time I added a cup of berries to my breakfast, it felt like a little celebration on my plate. The color alone is enough to lift your mood. Bright reds, deep blues, little pops of happiness next to my eggs and avocado. But beyond the beauty, what blew my mind was how my body reacted. I was waiting for the sugar crash, the hunger spike, that shaky feeling that always seemed to follow when I ate the wrong thing. But instead, nothing. Or better yet, balance. Calm. I felt steady, satisfied, and honestly happy because I realized I could have sweetness in my life without hurting my blood sugar. Here's the thing that shocked me. These little fruits are not just sweet. They're loaded with something my body desperately needed, and I didn't even know: antioxidants. Tiny superheroes that fight the invisible damage that leads to insulin resistance and inflammation. Again, I'm no doctor. I'm just a guy figuring it out like you. But the more I added berries to my breakfast, the more I noticed not just better blood sugar, but better everything. Less brain fog, better digestion. Even my mood lifted. It was like my body was breathing a little sigh of relief every time I gave it this gift from nature. I also love how flexible it is. Some mornings it's strawberries. Other days it's blueberries. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I mix both. I just grab a handful, wash them, and pile them right onto my plate. No chopping, no cooking, no prep, just nature's candy. But the kind that actually supports me, not sabotages me. And I notice something else too. When I eat berries alongside my eggs, avocado, sourdough, and olive oil, it feels like the perfect symphony. Everything works together. The fat slows the absorption, the fiber feeds my gut, and the berries add that sweet, juicy bite that makes the whole meal feel complete. So if you've been scared of fruit like I was, thinking it's off limits because of sugar, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be that way. 1 cup of strawberries or blueberries isn't just safe, it's powerful. It's one of the best things you can add to your plate. It's delicious, it's beautiful, and your body will thank you for it. Trust me, I feel the difference every single day. And I bet you will too. Number 7, 1 cup of coffee, no sugar. Now, let me tell you, if there's one thing that never, ever misses my breakfast table, it's my good old cup of coffee. Black, warm, comforting, no sugar, no cream, just pure coffee. For years, I felt a little guilty about it. You know how it goes. People say, coffee's bad for your heart. Coffee's bad for your health. Maybe you should cut it. And sure, loading it with sugar and syrups is a recipe for disaster. But plain, simple coffee? Oh, that's a completely different story. In fact, it became one of my best allies for stable blood sugar and steady energy. And honestly, it's more than just a drink. It's a ritual. It's how I start every single day with clarity and focus. I remember the first morning I drank my coffee alongside this new breakfast. Eggs, avocado, sourdough, olive oil, chia, berries. And something clicked. Suddenly, coffee didn't give me jitters. It didn't make me feel anxious or shaky like it used to when I drank alone or with a sugary breakfast. Instead, it felt like the final piece of the puzzle, this smooth wave of alertness that paired perfectly with the calm, steady energy from my food. I wasn't just awake. I was present, focused, clear, and most importantly, I felt in control of my hunger, my mood, and my cravings for the entire morning. What really surprised me was learning that coffee, plain coffee, is actually packed with powerful compounds, antioxidants, polyphenol, that quietly support my body in ways I never expected. Again, I'm no scientist, but I can tell you what my body told me. When I paired coffee with real food, the combination felt amazing. My blood sugar stayed steady. My digestion felt smoother. And I didn't have that typical coffee crash, the one that sends you running for a donut an hour later. Why? Because when your breakfast is balanced, full of protein, healthy fats, and fiber, the coffee just enhances everything. It's like rocket fuel, but the clean kind. And I get it, not everyone loves black coffee. Some folks swap it for green tea, black tea, hibiscus tea, or even warm water with lemon. And that's totally fine. The idea isn't about the caffeine. It's about avoiding sugar bombs disguised as drinks. Because once you ditch the sugar, the syrups, the creamers, and just enjoy the real beverage, whether it's coffee or tea, your body starts to thank you. You start realizing that energy doesn't have to come from sugar spikes. It can come from the natural compounds in these drinks, combined with the right foods. So yeah, my cup of coffee, it's sacred. It's the last thing I pour after plating my breakfast. I sit down, take that first warm sip, and smile, knowing that the simple little routine isn't just delicious. It's one of the pillars that keeps my blood sugar steady, my energy strong, and my mornings joyful. No sugar needed. No crash coming. Just me, my coffee, and a body that's finally working the way it's meant to. And trust me, it feels really, really good. You know, if someone had told me years ago that changing my breakfast could change my entire day, my energy, my mood, even my relationship with food, I probably wouldn't have believed them. But here I am, living proof that it's true. This simple, delicious combination of eggs, avocado, sourdough, olive oil, chia seeds, berries, and coffee didn't just stabilize my blood sugar. It gave me back control over my mornings, and honestly, over my life. No more crashes. No more endless hunger. No more feeling like my body was working against me. Instead, I feel fueled, steady, clear-headed, and it all starts with what's on my plate first thing in the morning. And the best part? This isn't some crazy diet. It's not about cutting everything out or following impossible rules. It's about adding the right things, the foods that actually support your body, that keep your blood sugar stable, your energy strong, and your cravings quiet. I'm not perfect. I don't eat perfectly every day. But when I start my morning like this, everything else feels easier. I make better choices. I feel more in control. I'm not battling my own body. I'm working with it. And that's a feeling I wish for everyone watching this. Of course, I have to say this, because it's important. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, and I don't know your personal health situation. So before you make any big changes to your diet, especially if you have diabetes, prediabetes, or any medical condition, please check with a healthcare professional. Find a doctor or nutritionist who understands metabolic health, who can guide you safely. Everyone's body is different. What worked for me might need adjustments for you. And that's okay. Your health journey is personal, and it deserves professional support. But I'll tell you this, what I discovered is that it's never too late. It's not too late to feel better. It's not too late to take back control. It's not too late to wake up feeling energized instead of exhausted, clear instead of foggy, calm instead of anxious. I thought for a long time that getting older just meant feeling worse. More tired, more aches, more problems. But the truth? A lot of that wasn't age. It was blood sugar swings. It was the wrong fuel. And when I changed the fuel, everything changed. So here's my invitation to you. Try it. See how it feels. Start small. Maybe it's the eggs. Maybe it's adding avocado. Maybe it's just cutting the sugar from your coffee. Every little step counts. And if this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone you care about. Because if it helped me, I believe it can help you too. Your body is capable of more than you realize. And it's never, ever too late to start.